Hello everybody, welcome to the class. Today's topic is deflection. What does deflection mean? Deflection is a tactics, a trick which enables us to remove the defender from defense of his piece and then win. So what I exactly mean will be understood through the following examples. Okay, so for the first example, we see white and black both have equal material. So it seems the game is almost a draw or it's almost equal till this point. But then white sees that the queens are facing each other, which means white can actually capture black's queen. But then black will reply rook b2, he will recapture, the queen is supported. So he will recapture and white gains nothing. How does white win from here? Well, the best move is white will remove the rook from defense of the queen and then capture the queen and win the queen. How does he remove the defender? In this position, it is by rook c8 check. White checks the king with the rook. The king cannot move anywhere. He is forced to capture, after which white would capture the queen, and white has gained a big advantage. Queen against rook. Okay, so this is how we use the idea of deflection to win games. Just remove the defender and then win material. Now the next example will further help us understand better. In this position it is white to play, and I would request all of you to first solve the position by yourself before proceeding with the video. Okay, pause the video, solve it by yourself and only then match your solutions. Okay, both these rooks are facing each other, but the black rook is supported by the queen. Therefore, we must look for opportunity to remove the queen so that we can capture the rook. How do we achieve that? Play queen g4 check. Force the black queen to capture the queen, because otherwise it's a check, and if the king moves, we will capture the whole queen. So black is forced to take this, after which white plays rook e8 check, forcing the king to move, and then we capture the queen. We are having an extra rook. Okay, so this is how you use the concept of deflection in your practical games. Let's move on. It's black to play here and win with deflection. Okay, once again, black's queen is here, white's queen is here, facing each other. But if black takes it right away, white will recapture. Black gains nothing. So what black does? He removes the king from defense of the queen and then captures the queen. So after rook g1 check, white is bound to take this. There is no other move left. So after this, queen e2 wins for black. Okay, I hope the concept of deflection is getting clearer and clearer with each example. Another instance of deflection. Black to play and win. Okay. If black takes the rook immediately and exchanges it again, he gains nothing. So what black did was, and it's quite simple to spot, first he exchanged these rooks and then he used deflection technique. The king is supporting this rook, so why don't we force the king to move away so that we can win the rook? Okay, so by playing check, of course white cannot defend because that will allow black to take the rook. He has to move away, and then again rook e1 check wins for black. So this is deflection, and now we move to a very interesting situation, very interesting position. Here it is white to play. If we notice carefully, all black's squares, sorry, to which the king can move are basically controlled by white. So if we can manage one check, the king on e8 will be checkmated. But if you play this check, the king can actually move to this square because the rook no longer controls the d file. So what is the winning way? White decides to sacrifice his bishop and play bishop takes f7 check. The king is trapped. So he is forcing black queen to stand face to face with our queen. Now, although we have sacrificed a bishop, we have given away a bishop, but we are forcing this scenario, after which white played rook d8, another brilliant move, moving the queen away so that he can capture the queen, and white wins. Okay, white wins the queen. How does he, just to repeat, first he forced the queen to stand in front of our queen. Then he moved the king away from defense of the queen. And finally, white won the queen. Okay, so this is how we can win games in deflection. Okay, let's move on to the next part, which is, I'll show you a small game which was played in the year 1930 between two players. One of them is Warren with white and Selman with black. And it's a very short game, but we can find the typical concept of deflection in this game. White started with d4, black played knight f6, white played c4, and black played e5, offering a pawn for nothing. So black is basically, to speed up his development, he says, capture my pawn. And white did take this. Black went to e4. And perhaps white was slightly afraid of bishop b4 check. He prevented it by a3, and black played d6, offering to exchange the pawns. And white is happy because he's a pawn up. Black is happy because he has two chessmen or chess pieces already very active in the center. So white plans to complete his development. He played g3, and immediately black went. He played a very nice move, that is knight takes f2. Giving up his knight, he is attacking the queen and rook, but obviously black can capture this knight. So black knows this. He is giving up his knight voluntarily so that he drags white's king out, and then he played check. Now the queen is attacking the queen. The bishop which was in the middle, now it has sprung to life. Now what should white do? White returned his king to support the queen. And now again it's black to play, and you have to think what you will play if you were playing with black. Okay, black played bishop f2 check. Okay, once again we have a typical position where the theme of deflection applies. The queens are facing each other. By playing bishop f2 check, white drives the king away from defense of the queen. There is no other move. This will be subject to queen check, and there is no other square for white to escape. So he has to take this, and black captured the queen, and he had a very big advantage because he had a queen, white did not have a queen. Okay, so this is how black managed to win the game. So I hope you have learned what deflection actually means, and you will be surprised that in many games we get this type of opportunities which we miss. And after today's class, I hope you will be able to use your skills and deflection tactics to win many games in chess. Goodbye. Thank you.